say good morning. Happy New Year to Kurt Warner. Kurt, thanks for joining us. How are you?
You bet. I'm good, Dan. How are you? Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you. The best coaching vacancy is where?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I think the bottom line is you always want to have a quarterback. And so, you look at different spots. I mean, Derek Carr, I think there's a great situation there with some talent. They were a team that was successful a couple years ago. It's hard to argue with Detroit. I think they got a lot of young pieces, some good playmakers on offense, and a quarterback as well. So when I look at it, I look at the quarterback spot, and those are a couple guys that are established anyways, but some good young quarterbacks in some other places as well.
Yeah, the Andrew Luck situation, so we don't know if that's a good job or not. Because
Exactly.
Why is that such a mystery, what happened with Andrew Luck?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's so much a mystery as you're never quite sure how people bounce back from certain injuries, and specifically when you're talking about the right arm. And, I don't know if it was mismanaged or it just hasn't bounced back like they had thought. But yeah, I think anybody's got to be a little bit leery and scared of that situation because, man, I just can't believe that it's taken this long for him to be able to get back on the field, and that's even in practice, throwing it around and doing what you expect him to do. And, me personally, not in any information on the situation, but I'm wondering if he's going to be able to really come back and play at this point.
Yeah. How important is this next game for Blake Bortles' future in Jacksonville?
I think it's extremely important. I think they've had a great year. I think they have all the pieces there to say, man, we can do this for a while. But it all comes down to that quarterback position, and he's got to prove that he can consistently play at that level and win games in the playoffs. I mean, you don't want to continue to move forward if you believe you got a running game and a defense, but not that guy that can pull the trigger and win those games for you. So I think it's vital how he plays in the next game or two, and if he shows he can actually win games against good teams and good quarterbacks on the other side.
Yeah, it's just a mystery there that he had that run where he had 7 touchdowns, no picks, and then everybody was back on board. And then these last couple of games, you just can't have that. If you're going to be a consistent team elsewhere, you can't have that inconsistency. And it feels like he's playing for his job every game now, from now on out in Jacksonville.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you mentioned it, it's all about consistency. Can I expect that position to show up week in and week out and go head-to-head with another good quarterback if need be, but not make the mistakes that can cost our football team? And, you continue, like you said, you had that run and you go, okay, maybe he can, turn the corner. But in the back of everybody's mind is still the Blake Bortles that we saw early in his career. And then we've seen it the last couple games. And, the organization has to continue to say, we don't want to go into a game wondering if that guy's going to come out. And so I think it's very important against playoff teams to show that he can make some plays to help them win, not just be a guy that can stand back there and not make the mistakes to lose a game for him.
Can you assess a college quarterback and have any – can you handicap that at all, playing at a high level and being a Hall of Famer? If you're looking at these guys, Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen or Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen, can you look for one thing and say that they're going to be good in the NFL?
Absolutely not. I think there's a couple factors here. I mean, there's such discrepancy at times between the college talent for one team compared to another team. And I tweeted earlier this year when I watched Oklahoma play, it looked like everybody was wide open. And that's just not going to happen at the next level. The guys aren't going to be running free, wide open. You've got the spread systems that aren't really based on reading defenses and coverages and having to get the ball to the right place on time. And so you don't know how they're going to translate there. And then the hardest thing is always the mental part of it. Is I've seen quarterbacks that were great college quarterbacks that get to the NFL and they just can't make those strides to get better and better every year. And then you see other guys, and Tom Brady's always a great example, that gets average college career, gets picked late in the draft, yet every year it seems like he gets better and better and better. And you never know that until a guy gets into that environment and that situation, and you push him and, you give him more and more, and he plays against the best talent, and you can see that. And I think that's why it's so hard to gauge that position and who's going to be good and who's not, because they can be great right now, but you need a guy to be even better 2 years from now and even better than that 4 years from now, and nobody can really gauge whether a player can do that or not.
Would Mayfield's personality scare you or attract you to him?
Yeah, I don't think it would scare me away. I think you would have to sit down and talk to him, and some of the other parts that go with the personality. I mean, I love the energy. I love what he brings to the table from that standpoint. I heard somebody kind of compare him to a Brett Favre, and there's those aspects that you really love. But I think there's points you got to tone it down a little bit and still be able to be the face of a franchise. But I think that's about conversations and about talking to a young kid and figuring out whether he can mature and develop and understand the two sides of that coin.
I'll leave you with this. There was a report Josh Rosen said that he didn't want to be drafted by Cleveland. What do you make of that?
Well, what I make is, on the surface, you completely understand that side of things and go, man, I want to go somewhere where I believe I can be successful, and this organization hasn't for a long time. But to me, the other side of it is I want to go to Cleveland and I want to change things. If I can go to Cleveland and turn that organization around, I've done something extremely special and something memorable, and that's how I would look at it as a competitor. But you fully understand the other side and want to make sure you have a chance to succeed, and they're going to give you time, and excuse me, and they're going to keep the coach there for a period of time and allow you to build something. And they haven't done that very well in Cleveland, so you understand the trepidation that a guy would have in going there and really believing they're going to have a chance to be a great one.
Kurt, we appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you soon, Dan.
That's Kurt Warner, NFL Network analyst. They got games on Saturday and Sunday. They start at noon Eastern on Saturday and 7 a.m. Eastern on Sunday.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.